excited?
All right, I'm taking your time. I'll see you tomorrow.
Keep asking you to clap every time. It's never going to stop. Thank you for coming to this session. This is the last one of today. We're going to start it all again tomorrow with some great speakers and sessions. Right after this, out in the reception area, there's going to be a nice reception. All the sponsors are going to be out there, so make sure you stop by the booth, talk to everybody, say hey, see what they have to say and offer. But we're going to go ahead and get this last one started. So from Salesforce, please help me welcome Susan Prater, everybody. Susan!
You know, I find whenever I do these conferences, I'm usually the first one in the morning, which means the coffee's kicked in to anyone, or I'm at the end of the day, which means I'm standing between you and happy hour. So I will try to keep this fast-paced, energetic, so you have enough energy to get it down over there to get a beverage or two. So we're going to talk a little bit about omni-channel, developing your own omni-channel strategy in a digitally fast-paced world. Now you can see up here that time spent per adult has really been increasing over time. We haven't been adding devices, we've been actually increasing the time we've been spending on those devices. And you can see there that the desktop is, slowly dropping while the mobile in green is increasing. So we are certainly consuming time pretty rapidly. Let's see if the clicker works. There we go. Also, your shopper's journey. Think about when you shop now. It's not a linear path. It's all over the place. You might start online, you might stop by a store, you might then call your friends or go on Facebook and ask someone what they think about a product. It is definitely not a linear journey nowadays, and we as marketers got to remember that they're not going to shop the way we want them to shop. They're going to shop how they want to shop on their terms. And in fact, they're also moving between devices as they're doing things and trying to accomplish those goals out there. You can see that, over 90% of people use multiple screens sequentially. And you think about yourself at home, like you've got your iPad in your lap or your tablet and you're watching TV. You might also have your mobile device next to you. You might be texting one person on one and checking Facebook on the other, watching TV. So again, we're doing multiple things at the same time. And as marketers, that's a challenge because our brains have to be everywhere all at the same time. And also 98% people move between devices in the same day, so it's not just one or two people, everyone's doing it now. And also here the screen just breaks out a little bit more of all the different things people are doing sequentially between mobile devices. So they're not just shopping, but they're planning a trip, they're doing their finances, maybe moving some money from one account to the other to make sure they can pay those bills. So again, you need to be everywhere at the same time. And really, as the speed of the omni-channel commerce continues to grow, we have to keep moving faster and faster as brands. And we have to have that seamless experience out there because the consumer wants to have that same brand experience everywhere. So we as marketers need to make sure that that's happening. So let's talk about the three tenets of omni-channel marketing. First of all, just think omni-channel. You want a coherent message across all touch points out there. So no matter if you're in social media or you're in print or you're on radio, anywhere, you want that same message looking like the same brand everywhere. You want to eliminate friction. You want to make it as easy as possible for your consumers, whether you're B2B or B2C, to engage with you whenever, wherever, and however they want to do it. Remember, it's not a linear journey. Think about yourselves and how you shop, or how you do anything. It's not a linear journey anymore, so it has to be frictionless, as easy as possible. And also, leverage the data that you have so that you can have a true one-to-one conversation with your consumers and your customers. You don't want that one-to-many. That's kind of batch and blast. That's the peanut butter approach. You want a true, genuine one-to-one. And maybe right now you're at that batch and blast. Think about that, maybe moving from one-to-many to one-to-a-bunch. And then finally, your goal will be that one-to-one conversation by leveraging the data that you have on each and every one of your customers. But it's going to take time to get there. So we're going to go through the process. It's basically 5 steps to help developing your strategy. And then, of course, the number 6, there's just kind of some pros that I think are worth watching to get ideas as you develop your own strategy. So let's talk with the customer benefit. This may look familiar to you. Maybe you just have it on a small cocktail napkin. Maybe you do have a big spreadsheet. But look to your marketing calendar. You have planned out everything you want to say to your customers for the year, hopefully. Or maybe it's only for 6 months. But you have everything planned out that you want to say. But wait a minute, what does the customer want to hear? We really need to consider that and put ourselves in the customer's shoes. So think about what they want to hear and where can you get that information? First of all, think about SEO and your website. Those are great ways to see what kind of search terms are they using to get to your website, and also what are they using in that search box on your website. You might find some interesting trends. It might be things you never thought of before. I know when I was on the client side, I've been client side for most of my career, that some local companies you might have heard of, Ford, Masco, Owens Corning, some familiar names hopefully to you. I was always amazed looking at the type of data coming out of our search terms on our website. There were sometimes things that we had never thought of that customers would want, and all of a sudden they gave us ideas for new content. Also think about just your email content and your website content. What are people clicking on? What are they searching on? Use that data, whether it's from Google Analytics or Omniture or any of your email service providers, those tools. What are people really engaging with? Think about also customer service and sales. They're right out there face to face with your customers. What are they hearing? Are there specific complaints or certain wishes or wants? Social media, listening, listen. There are great tools out there, whether it's Hootsuite or even a product like what we have at Salesforce Radiant 6. Great ways to hear the conversations that your customers are having about your brand and your competitors. And lastly, also ratings and reviews. If you have that, leverage it. What are they saying? You may get some new intel, maybe about a new product feature that you never thought of, or maybe they're using your product differently that you never even imagined. Again, great places to hear what your customers want and need. So here's an example from Scott's. They really leveraged social media. They were listening to social media and found that a majority of their lawn care conversations in social media was falling into when people were trying to figure out when should I apply the different fertilizers or when should I plant my grass seed. So they started thinking, this is what people are talking about. What can we do to help them? So down there in the lower right-hand corner of the graphic up there is to create a customized lawn care program. Get started, and in 4 easy steps, they will help you take care of all of your lawn care needs. And basically, they will give you a lawn care plan. Now, we all want to be reminded in different ways, and they think about that, and they said, great, we can give you something in print, we can send you something as a calendar entry, we'll send you an email to remind you every time you need to do something, we can send you an SMS, we can even send you a push notification if you happen to have our app downloaded. So great ways, and again, the customer can control when to get that information to remind them when to fertilize their lawn. Second of all, let's think about enforcing that consistent messaging and share those assets. You spend a lot of money creating content and assets. Let's make sure we leverage them all the way across the board. I really like Fidelity because here they're talking about school saving for college, and you can see Twitter and Facebook and on their website and in one of their blogs, and also another area in their website, it's all about saving for college. And you saw some similar looks and feels across there, a very consistent experience. So you have to ask yourself, how can I ensure that consistency at all touch points? Well, it really goes back to, if the clicker will work, that marketing calendar. Look at all the things that you need to do to create that campaign, and which ones are the long leads, things like maybe TV or print. That's going to really drive the creative for that campaign. And then also, as you're coming up with a creative, make sure whoever's in charge of it, even if it's another siloed organization at your company, make sure that everything is in the proper formats for you and are shared amongst the departments. I can remember working with a client recently, that big retailer, and they had created some beautiful photography that they were going to use in their print ads. Well, they never saved it in different formats that we could use in email and also in mobile. And that was a killer because then they had to take time to repurpose everything. So make sure everything is done up front and saved in all the formats you need for web and for mobile and for email and even for social media, the different sizes and resolutions. Make sure you have all that done up front so you can leverage that content. Pay once, repurpose many times. And also leverage those collaboration tools, whether it's a SharePoint site or a content management system, to make sure all the content's in one place that everyone can access it, even if they're all in different parts of the organization. Yeah, do you have one of those people on your team at work? You need an enforcer. You need an enforcer to make sure that no one strays from whatever the direction is for the creative for that campaign, because you know how it is. There's always some group over here, or maybe there's 2 or 3 agencies, and one thinks they can do a little bit better, and all of a sudden everything starts shifting, and our print looks this way, and the website creative is this way, and the email's that way, and the TV is that way. Make sure you have an enforcer. That's the most important thing, to make sure that all of your creative looks the same across all touch points, so your customers have a sense of this brand has it together and it's something I can trust. Okay, barking dog, there you go. So now let's talk about some cross-promotion rules, because now you have all this great content ready for all the different channels. How do we cross-promote it? I love Starbucks. I don't know about you, but they do a great job as marketers of cross-promoting. This one email here promotes their gift cards, e-commerce, Twitter, retail, and SMS all in one single email. And oh, by the way, they also do the same promotion of those same pieces of content within their app. Again, there's a chance to buy an e-gift card. You can do a Twitter gift, which I've done before. It works really great as long as the person on Twitter knows and checks their Twitter on a regular basis. And also texting. So again, they're doing it across different touch points, getting that same message out there. Here are some great testimonies of why you want to be multi-channel and really promoting your brand and your product or your service. You can see there that Staples, while they get 2 times retail only lifetime value for retail customers, when they add in that multi-channel, the lifetime value is 5.5 times. Walgreens, same thing. They're seeing in-store and online, those customers spend 3.5 times more than customers that are only in-store. And when you layer on also the mobile, that goes up to 6 times. So again, great opportunity the more places you are, because your customers really sometimes need to hear that message more than one time. Multi-channel there with Sephora, 4 times more valuable than those who shop in store only. And GameStop also, they're finding that multi-channel businesses are influencing 10 times the amount that in-store is influencing. So again, be everywhere. So let's put that data puzzle together. You probably have desperate sources of data around, but we really need to pull those all together so you get a single view of that customer, so you can start having that one-to-one conversation out there. But how do you do it? Well, you really need to start doing it with a data audit. What do we have and what do we need? So let's talk about connecting those dots. First of all, let's clean up those databases and consolidate all the information, ideally into one database. Yes, your IT group may be freaking out because they have 27 other projects in the queue, but see what you can do to try to at least get your data cleaned up so you're working with good data. Also, if you have the resources, build a database of anonymous users and add to that customer profile when you start seeing those connections being made, whether it's website behavior, email behavior. Again, we want to start associating all the data that you have. We have a solution at Salesforce called Predictive Intelligence that's for web and for email that allows you to start taking that customer data that is anonymous, and once you get a customer email address you can associate with them, all of a sudden now you have a lot more information on their behaviors. Progressive profiling is a great way to start filling in those data gaps in your profile. So you can do that whether it's a form on your website where you're starting to collect a name, an email, understanding what maybe webinar they signed up for, or a data paper that they're downloading, or even within an email. You sometimes see brands like Lowe's and Home Depot and some other ones. Hey, give us your birth date and you'll get a present on your birthday. All of a sudden now they got your birthday information. Maybe it's Lowe's that they did a campaign a few years ago in the springtime, and it was a short-lived campaign, but they wanted to see what kind of projects people were going to work on in the spring. And guess what? They took that data and for the next about 6 weeks, made sure the data, the email content was relevant back to whatever project that person said they were going to be working on. So again, progressive profile is a real great way to quickly fill in some of those data gaps. If you have an app, make sure, please, 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 pretty please, use the customer's email address as the way to sign up and register that app. Now you can make a connection between email and app behavior. Make that common thread. It's a must-do. Also, if you're doing email opt-in, add an SMS opt-in. Again, associating a phone number with an email address. What a great way to start figuring out what channels you can be talking to. So if they're not listening to you on one channel, you can turn to another channel and finish the conversation there. And similarly, also, grab those social handles. There's great ways to, again, continue those conversations through retargeting on Facebook and Twitter. So again, if you have all those bits and pieces, you can tie them together and finish that conversation. If you start in one spot and it doesn't work, pick it up somewhere else where they may rather engage with you. So you remember, as you're collecting all that data, now all of a sudden I don't want you guys running out there going, we have to be on a data hunt, we got all this data to get. The main thing is collect what you need right now. Don't go for everything. We don't want the nice to haves. What data do you need right now to have a more direct one-to-one conversation with your customers instead of a one-to-many? Let's again get down from one-to-many to just one to a bunch, and then ideally down the road, one-to-one. And again, everything you do, don't have a data capture in every single touch point in conversation with your customers. Be strategic about it. So for cross-capturing, CVS does a great job of this. I just love this example. They give an incentive in an email where they want you to sign up to get double rewards for their loyalty program. So you go and you give them your name, your email address. Maybe you already have a loyalty card, but you haven't registered it online. So they'll take that information. And also at the very bottom, you can't really see it. It's kind of a small font there, but it's saying you can also go in store and sign up. So maybe you don't have the time to do it now, but they're giving you another channel to engage with them to give you your information. From there, once you sign up, you get a success. Yay, you signed up. But guess what? At the bottom, see your savings and rewards. I think, okay, I don't really know how much points balance I have on my account, so all right, fine, I'll do that. I'll log in, and they ask, and so go ahead, put your name and your password in, but guess what? They also give you a chance to remember me on this computer, so now that they've got you cookied, so now they can start following you around that way. So again, they've gotten a lot of data out of you by just this simple process. But wait, there's more. So once you're into your account, they have a great tabbed preference area, and you can get social and like them. Now all of a sudden, as you like them, now they've just picked up your Facebook name. So again, now they've got some more information, so now they can retarget you even better on Facebook. And then also, prescription data too. They will know whether or not you have a prescription program set up with them or not, and they can start targeting you to sign up for that so they can push you even more information there. So again, they collect a lot of information in a few easy steps. All right. I think I've killed it. I think it wants to go to happy hour. Help in the back? This is exciting. Let's all just go down over there and grab a drink and. Oh, it's working. Thank you. So, okay, well, good. We're almost to the end. So let's talk about that frictionless experience because this is not a frictionless remote. Let's make it as easy as possible now that you've got all this information, you're starting to have that one-to-one conversation with that subscriber, that customer. Let's make it frictionless. There you go. Remember, it's a non-linear journey, so you have to have everything that customer may want everywhere at any time when they want it, not when you want it. So think about supporting that endless aisle. You can buy anywhere, fulfill at any time. Think about your own shopping habits. Here's some things to think about. A remind me. Having this type of a remind me option will let the customer control when they want to be reminded about something because maybe they're busy now and they want to be reminded at a later date. So you could do with an email link. Here, I love this example here from Bissell. Bissell's a brand here from Michigan and Grand Rapids. They make vacuums and steam cleaners and other home cleaning devices. They were doing a Facebook conversation with one of their authorities, and they wanted to invite people to come to it on a certain date and time. And right there in the blue is add to calendar. And when you clicked on that, it would pop open a window with a calendar entry that then you could save. This one's for Outlook. You can also do it for Gmail, but it's a great way to save it right to your calendar so then you don't have to forget about it. I've also seen it done by Fanatics with an upcoming sale that you can remind you when that sale is going to start. What I also like what they did is they have the join the chat now, and that makes it very easy for that customer when it's time for that Facebook chat just to click on that and takes them right to that Facebook page. They don't have to remember the brand's page or search for it or anything like that. They can just click and be taken right there. A very frictionless experience. Back to Starbucks. They also do a great job with the Remind Me SMS, where you can buy a holiday drink, get one free. It's now through Sunday at a certain time. And if you click on the 2 to 5 p.m., it brings up on your smartphone a chance to make an entry in your calendar, or actually to see it on your calendar. And then in the lower corner there, it brings up the entry, and then you can save it right to your calendar for a reminder. Also, if you do have apps, it's a great way to also engage. This is an app from Fun Mobility, and this one is an example for Redbox, where Redbox had a promotion and they wanted to give you a free movie code. Now you can clip the coupon, and as you can see there on the right, you have 3 ways you can clip that coupon. You can have it texted to you, emailed to you, or also to your passbook. Your way, no friction, very simple. So when you do that, again, it's showing here now, you have the text coupon on the left, the email coupon, and then also the passbook. And interestingly enough, when they do that text the coupon, now they're gathering your phone number. If you're doing the email coupon, they're picking up your email address. And obviously passbook, also they're picking up that information. And passbook really has a high amount of acceptance now. I'm starting to use it a lot more and putting a lot of my loyalty cards in there. It's a great, right at your fingertips tool. With an app, you can do geofencing, so reminders of, let's say, when that coupon is going to expire can pop up as you're approaching that store. And notifications, the nice things with notifications and apps, they're free. They're not like text where there's message and data rates may apply. Notifications are free. To me, the app is really a second inbox because you can push so much content in there and it's always there and very easy to find. You don't have to go scrolling through your personal inbox. Social sign-in is another great way to make it frictionless. Think of all the logins you have. You probably have 20 logins. You probably have maybe an app to remind you of all the logins and all those passwords because you know now most things it's 8 characters, a capital, a special character, you need a number. Well, that gets to be a pain after a while, and social sign-in makes it so easy. And in fact, it helps to increase registrations by up to 50%. And again, there with the Forbes, instead of having to try to remember my login for that, I can just log in with Facebook or any of those other things, and now they have my information from Facebook, and they can start having conversations, maybe put some advertising up on Facebook to target me. Again, it's very simple and frictionless. I use social sign-in a lot for things like Instagram and for Pinterest, so I don't have to remember all those passwords for all those social sites. So lastly, let's just talk a little bit about learning from the pros. I think we're doing pretty good on time. The main thing is you want to make it as easy for your customers to get to you on any channel. When you do that, you're going to hear from them more often, and they're going to have their pocketbooks open a lot more because it's so easy to do business with you. So that's why you want to create that omni-channel strategy. So some pros I really like to watch and get ideas from. There's some great retailers. I showed you CVS, Walmart, Target, Sephora. They all do a fabulous job. Restaurants, especially the quick serve restaurants, they're really getting out there now. Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. I know that Taco Bell recently came out with an app where now you can order your food in advance, very impressive. Financial institutions, they're getting pretty hip now too. And you look at Simple, USAA, American Express, they do such a great job cross-channel. It's just amazing. And also some of those that are out of home, things like Uber. I don't know how many of you guys have used Uber. Anyone use Uber? Yeah. They make it so easy, and they're everywhere. I mean, between their app and their emails, it is so easy to do business. They're on social media. I've used them when I had a problem with being charged a lot more for a short trip than I should have been because the very lovely drivers, for some reason, didn't know how to get to Union Station in Chicago, even though that person said she had lived there her whole life. But Uber was great. I reached out while I was at the airport, and I sent out a tweet, and before I knew it, Uber was responding back to me and getting me a credit. So again, they're there, they're everywhere. They made an out-of-home experience very pleasurable. So again, 5 easy steps to build that omni-channel strategy. And of course, when you have time, follow some of those pros out there. Find your own that you really admire and get ideas from them. Let them do all the heavy lifting, get the ideas, copy it, because again, that's the sincerest form of flattery. So I think we have a little bit of time for questions, because I know there's going to be someone that wants to ask that question right before happy hour, so let's do it now. Any questions? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? All right, I know you guys want to get out of here. It's been a long day. Thank you so very much for coming, especially the last show of the day. Have a great time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Nothing ever slows her down, and a mess is not allowed.
Susan Prater, everybody. One more time, let her hear ya.
In the middle of our street,
That wraps it up for the day. Make sure when you head down the lobby, there is a reception. There's going to be some snacks, some booze. So head out there, have a good time. We'll see you back here early in the morning. And don't forget, keep hashtagging, keep taking pictures, uploading everything. And we got some great gifts and some fun stuff to give away tomorrow. We'll see you in the morning. Thanks, everybody.